Hey everybody, just touching base, doing another quick video. Building a rod today, and I picked up a new product from Mudhole. They look like this. And what they are, they're little stretch bands that go over your rod as you're building it to put the guides on, to make your life easier. Now, what I have found is guide foot prep is paramount. You got this tiny little guide foot. You can see there, it's pretty much just a straight shot, little rounded end. I'm going to try and focus in there. You can see I had to file that pretty significantly to make the trip. And when I say that is, no matter what I tried, I could not get that foot to go under the band unless I did the guide rod, unless I did the prep properly. So by doing the prep properly, now I'm putting them on this time just to put them all on. Usually when I'm putting them on, I tape them, or I use the hot glue stick. Which the hot glue stick, what you typically do is you take your mini torch, grab your pliers, and you heat this up just a touch, and you take and you just doop and put it in place. Now that doesn't always work real well, so when you're doing that, sometimes they don't like to stick, sometimes they don't stick where you want them to, and if you happen to get them so that they're not square, sometimes it's a real pain to try and get them squared back up where you want them to be after you've done a partial wrap or even a full wrap, and you realize that it's just a little sideways or not quite right. So like I say, I'm trying these out. This is first time, brand new try, haven't done them before, and I wanted to let you guys know. Also, fun news, I picked up a little GoPro style camera. So hopefully I can do some fishing videos and things, and get some of that kind of stuff going for you guys that are enjoying the channel. This rod, I decided I like this Abu Garcia reel, and I'm going with orange grips to match the orange reel. Open reel seat here, so it'll be a little different there. Give me a little more feel. I'm going to go with an orange and black thread combination to match the reel, match the rod. The rod is a heavy action, or a heavy rod with a light action is for what I'm feeling on it. It might, once I'm all done, it might feel more like a medium. It was just a cheap blank that I picked up. I want to say it was like a $16 blank. It was nothing to write home about, nothing special. But it's something that I wanted to build. The heavy rod, I'm thinking I want to use it more for like northern and things you don't need a lot of feel for, but you might have to horse on them pretty hard. Planned on running a 65-pound braid with like a 12-inch leader on it. Not going to be a bass rod. It's going to be more something that I can throw into anything and not care. So one of those touch and base, like I say. I'm going to show you a little bit more on that guide foot prep. As you see, I got my little pliers here, and I've got this file. And what I do is, this is backwards from how I normally grab it. I grab it with the pliers. Like I say, it's backwards. The pliers will be facing the other way. And then I file until it gets the shape I need or want. And which I'll show you guys here in just a minute. I'm going to grab a better viewpoint on it and get everything ready to go. Alright, like I said, I had it faced the wrong way there. And so now I get it sitting like this, and now I take that file and I start on the bottom, because the bottom has usually a drop of paint on it that makes it to me, it seems like a better place to start. You can actually see it a little bit right there. You can see a line. That's actually a droplet that formed when they painted it. So I take that off first. I get that down narrowed. And then I take all the paint off pretty much from what I can file there, what you see with the pliers. Then I take the tip and I take it down. I don't want to say it's razor sharp. You're not going to cut yourself with it, but it is going to be nice and sharp. I haven't cut one of these bands yet. The bands are pretty tough. I've been impressed. But you get it down that sharp and that smooth. That way the transition to go underneath that wrap is the best it can be. If you look at this one, it's a nice flat and nice even ramp. That one I actually didn't need to prep much. It was just a little bit on the bottom. This one here, you can see I had to prep more, and some of these have required a pretty significant amount, like this one. And if I can get this thing to focus right. So a little bit of dust and dirt and stuff on this rod blank I'll wipe down before I actually get going here. But that's I'm just talking about prep, guide prep right now, not necessarily rod prep. So kind of a good angle there. You can see I brought it down pretty far, pretty almost sharp, but not quite. This one here I had to get pretty aggressive with, because that one just, it was huge on that end. Every one of them is going to be different, so don't be afraid to trim it down until it does what you want and make it fit. These aren't squared up to the blank yet. I'm just putting them in place. That's the nice thing with these bands. I can get them in a general placement, and then once my grip and seat dry, I use my laser and tape measure. It's all in one. It's actually a really slick unit. Got this one out of mud hole as well. Those guys have been great for me. And this will go just like your rod would, and then that'll shoot a laser down, and it takes a lot of the guesswork out of is it square with the blank. I was using this little laser here before. I had one that I started to build that I'll say it was not turning out the way I liked it. So being a little bit of a perfectionist with this, you have to be to do this kind of stuff. It had a little bit of a wave to it. I want to say I'm going to blame it on the laser. It might have been the operator. All because I was taking and I would wrap this Velcro tie around it onto the reel seat, and then I would try and aim the laser down the rod to give you an idea and to get an idea, and it worked pretty well for a number of them I've built, but that one just wasn't turning out the way I liked it, so I ordered the appropriate tool for the job. As I build more and more of these, I find that is the best course of action. I've got a pretty good list of stuff that I want to order, but that'll require selling some rods and you know, maybe some interest from you guys. If I can get a few more viewers going here, that would be great. Get maybe make a couple bucks to turn around and put into this so that I can show you guys more. As I learn, I'm going to show you. I downloaded a program that is for weaving, to be able to do patterns and things like that. I'm trying to work with that a little bit. I've got a rod blank that's just a blank that I'm going to use for experimentation. And with that, I can do a weave like that and not worry about it. So anyway, I'll keep you posted that way. I'm going to go back to doing some prep on this guide here, and I'll show you kind of step by step what I'm doing. Alright, it didn't take but more than a couple swipes, and it cleaned that bottom up real quick. You can see right at the tip there that there was a bubble there, even of metal, and taking that down so that now I've got those two little lines, squares the bottom up nice and flat, and that's what you want. When you start out, you'll have a little bubble there, and that'll walk the tip up and makes it harder to make the wrap nice and clean. Alright, so now I've gone back and I've done the top side here. You can still see that it wasn't level on the top side either. So it's a small guide. It's not a custom machined 100% CNC'd part. So that's why you got to true these up. And then you get there, the tip. I may have to bring that tip down just a little bit sharper to make it actually fit nice, but you're getting the idea. You can see there what I've done to try and square that up. You can actually see the taper I've added to it. Right there, that angle works nicely, so that it'll, in the future, when I go to put this on, it'll, one, fit under that little rubber band, we'll call it, and two, when I go in and actually start the wrapping process, when you get to the bottom of that foot, the smoothest transition you can have is the best, and it'll wrap and lay real nice and easy. If you don't do that, it'll end up trying to fold back over itself, kind of like wrinkling a shirt. So just a quick thing for you guys today, nothing crazy. No fishing at the moment. I went fishing here a couple weeks ago for the long weekend. Was stuck dock bound with the kids. Caught a bunch of little sunfish and that kind of thing. Nothing worth taking pictures of or video of for you guys. My oldest daughter did catch a 20-inch northern off the dock, but I'm pretty sure it was coming in for some of the sunfish. So anyways, you guys have a great day. Tight lines.